How do you know you have enough money to take a vacation, go on a trip? Well, in my case, I've been saving my money to do just that for as long as I can remember. I haven't spent a lot of my money, so I'm going to start doing that. And since I have the money saved, I wouldn't have to do anything different if I didn't want to, but I want to. I want to feel good about spending the extra money that I'm going to have to spend on vacation. So here are a few ways I've been cutting back on my spending. One thing I've stopped doing for about a month is cut back on some impulse buys. I'm not somebody who just goes to the store just to shop, but I am somebody who, if I see something and I think, oh, that's so cute, or I might use that someday, and it's inexpensive, then I've been known to buy that. And I've tried to stop doing that lately because oftentimes I get stuff home and it's like, I don't really need this. I don't know what I'm going to ever do with it. So I am curbing a little bit of my impulse buying, which is never out of control. It's not a problem. But I still can do better. So I'm doing better. Another thing I've done recently is to stop buying special or convenience type foods at the store. I have so many groceries. My freezer's full, my fridge is, pretty full. My pantry is overflowing. So I'm using what I have, and it's just about everything I need. So I'm just cutting back. I'm doing about a $10 a week grocery store spend. It's fine because all I really need are some perishables like fresh fruits and vegetables and maybe some more almond milk or things like that they're not shelf stable forever. And I have frozen vegetables in the freezer I can use and fruit. But I like to have apples and some berries on hand. So I'm going to continue to buy some groceries before my trip, but not do I have to buy that because it's on sale deal. I don't have to do that. Things will go on sale again, I hope, when I return, and I can stock up again then. But I'm not going to use up all my food, even before the trip, without buying more. I kind of hoard it when it's on sale, and now it's serving me well. Like last night, I opened a can of chili beans and I mashed them up and made bean tacos and put some cheese on top and heated them in my air fryer, and I made some rice, some Spanish rice. And it was delicious. I love those kind of meals, and I have all the stuff on hand except the taco shells. I used all those up. But, I might buy another package of taco shells, $2 or $3. Or I might just buy tortilla chips and I could just make like a plate of nachos with some rice on the side. I'm very flexible, which also helps. I don't need some big special meal every evening or whatever. That's not important to me. Another thing I'm doing is looking at my monthly expenses and seeing if there's anything I can cut back on or just eliminate. One thing I found was I have a Hulu subscription, and it's just $10 a month, but I decided I don't really need that right now. I have Netflix, Apple TV, BritBox. Those are all paid. And I thought, 4 is a lot. So I was going to cancel Hulu. But I went into my account and there's an option to pause it for 4 months. So I did that. I figured, they're really good about letting you stop and start anyway. So I thought, okay, I'll just pause it. And at $10 a month, that's saving me $40 over 4 months, $10 each month. So I did that, and I haven't missed it at all because I also use free streaming things like Freevee and Tubi. And I have, because I donate to the public radio or television, I think, I have PBS Passport, and that has excellent shows on it that I watch. And there's also network TV. I don't have cable, but I have so many options. I figured Hulu can go at least for 4 months, and I'll figure it out at the end of the 4 months whether I want to re-up or just let it go away for now. And $40 may not seem like a lot, but that's a day's worth of meals on my trip, easily, maybe 2, because I don't plan on dining at the, best restaurants. That's not something I ever have been interested in. But it can easily feed me for 1 day, probably 2. And even though I'm saving a lot of money by cutting back a little bit here and there before my trip, I also have spent some money because one of the airlines I'm flying only allows a very small carry-on bag. It's very small. And I didn't have any. I had one bag that would work, but it didn't hold a lot. So I went on Amazon and I looked and I found a bag for just $20, a travel backpack. And it's still smaller than I would like, but it's bigger than the bag I had that would work. And I refused to pay, it's like $75 for a checked bag because I got a cheap ticket. And I figure, okay, $20 is better than $75, and I can use it again and again, hopefully. So I have spent some money, but I don't feel like $20 is that bad. I don't think I've spent anything else special for this trip, and I may have to. But so far, that's what I've spent, and I feel like I'm saving more than that, and I'm in good shape. Another way I can bring in some more money before my trip is to cash in on some of the survey sites that I do. What I do is I take surveys and they give you money. It's basically either an Amazon gift card, or they'll send money to my PayPal account, which I can then transfer to my checking account. And it's cash, it's money to spend. And I don't earn a lot from these, but probably $100 a month, which is helpful. I like bringing in money, and it's very little effort. It might be half an hour a day, 10 minutes a day. It varies. For a while, I was doing some AI training where they would have us, I wasn't the only one doing it, speak. Like you would describe a picture for AI to learn from. And that paid a little more and they had tons of jobs, of these little jobs to do. And they didn't take long, maybe 15 minutes each. But those months I made $300 or $400 a month because they had lots of these AI training jobs available. Well, that's not the case now. They're done with their training of the AI and it's out in the world. So I can cash in some of those and use the money, just either get cash to take with me or put it in my checking account, which would then pay my credit card bill when I return, because I'm going to put almost everything on a credit card. And speaking of credit cards, I also saved on booking my flight. I used credit card points. I'd never done this before, but a friend of mine who travels all the time and she knows all the ins and outs, and I keep telling her to do a YouTube channel, but she won't. So I'm sharing one of her tips here. She said this one card was really good, and it's a Chase Preferred Sapphire, I think is the name of it. I put a link in the description below. If you sign up using my link, you get, I think, 100,000 points, and I get 10,000. So if you want to do that, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. But I had more than 100,000 points because when I signed up, that's what I got. And that more than paid for my flight there and home. And I have some left over. It'll cover at least another flight, if not a round trip. It might be one way, it might be a round trip. But I love that. I haven't had to pay any money so far for my trip, and I have my flight there and back booked. So, and I will do another video on all the expenses of my traveling for this trip, and how I've tried to save some money. So more on that later. And if you're new here, I'm Peg, and my channel is Do It Myself Peg, because I really enjoy doing things for myself, figuring things out, researching them, actually doing the work if I can. And my channel is all about me yammering about all that. So basically, by cutting my expenses for this trip that's coming up, it helped me to gain control of, knowing what money I have, how much I can spend, how much I want to spend, because I have more. I'm not going to spend all my money on this trip. That would be crazy, because I want to do more trips. So I have to save some for those. But it helped me to get a grasp of where I stand, and deciding to go ahead and do a little cost saving in my ordinary day-to-day life before I go is going to help me save some money that I will just feel better about spending it, because I'm going to have to pay for lodging and meals out and transportation while I'm on my trip, and all those things add up. And I know it, but that's what you do when you're on vacation. You spend more money, and that's okay. I'm really looking forward to it. So let me know how you prepare for vacation or a trip, if you do anything different, or if you just kind of go, okay, I'm just going to go. And that's okay too. I think everybody should do their own thing as long as you're being responsible and it works for you. And I'll see you next time.